ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶಾಯ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸರಸ್ವತ್ಯೈ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಸಮಸ್ತಜನಕಲ್ಯಾಣೇ ನಿರತಂ ಕರುಣಾಮಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಚಿನ್ಮಯಂ ದೇವಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ವರಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ವರಂ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಶ್ರೀರಮಣಾಯ. Ensure mobiles are off, otherwise you go out. Ensure करना सब लोग. So we saw that macrocosm is existing because of microcosm. The Chaitanya in the individual consciousness must be there to certify, to see, to experience the universe as an object. Otherwise, universe doesn't exist. So this we saw. So, atah hrudaye sarvasamapti upapadayati. Therefore, everything is dissolved, yoked, sourced into the heart alone. Because from microcosm is antakarana. Antakarana is existing because of aham vritti. Aham vritti is nothing but expressing out from hrudayam. So, everything is rooted in hrudayam. So we will see now 5th chapter, 12th shloka. Bhuvanam manaso nanyat anyan hrudayat manaha hrudayan manaha ashesha hrudaye tasmat katha parisamapyate. Bhuvanam manaso nanyat anyan hrudayan manaha ashesha hrudaye tasmat katha parisamapyate. Therefore, ultimately, Bhuvanam means Vishwam. Manasaha. Manasa means antakarna vritti rupat. What is mind? Antakarna vritti. Vritti rupam. Vritti only, flow of thoughts, only the mind. So therefore the entire bhuvanam, the entire universe is noticed, experienced by us as an object of perception in the form of antakarna vritti, a thought in the mind. The thought contains the whole universe. Therefore, antakarna vritti rupatvat na anyat bhinnam na bhavati. Therefore, the universe is nothing but not different from your own thought. That's the first point. So, what is the universal perception object? Whole Brahmanda is nothing but your own thought. It is not different from the thought. That is the first point to notice. So the whole Brahmanda is not different from the thought. So the world is not other than the mind. First point. Kutaha manovrittehe sukshmayaha bhuvanakara stola vishayatmakatvat. See, the manovritti is a sukshma murti, and that alone is, that vritti is facilitating us in recognizing the universe as though it is there, it is existing for us for time being. not Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. But then it is existing, perceived by me, but where? It's nothing but in the form of a thought. Therefore, Tathacha Uktam. What is said in the sloka, he quotes the sloka, Shabdadi Rupam Bhuvanam Samastam Shabdadi Satyendriya Vritti Bhasya Satyendriyana Manaso Vashe Syat Manomayam Tad Bhuvanam Vadamaha. He says, Shabdadi Rupam Bhuvanam Samastam. What Bhuvanam Samastam is only Shabdadi Rupam. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Sagandha. Be through sense organs in the form of sound, in the form of drushya form, and in the form of smell, taste, touch, hearing, seeing, smelling. The entire universe is cognized by Indriyas. How do we see? As we are having sense organs, because 5 sense organs we have, so we are able to experience the universe in the form of 5 different experiences. Some animals do not have all 5 sense organs. Plants do not have eyes. Think about it. But they see. Some animals also don't have eyes. So that means the ant, you take very different animals if you study, how they perceive the world. Books have been written so beautifully. So their experience of the world is totally different from our experience. It is not that our experience is superior. Because we are able to see through 5 sense organs the world, we are superior. Others are deprived only of 1 or 2 only indriyas are there. Therefore we are superior. No superiority thought is allowed here, because on the contrary, the more we are experiencing the world through different senses, more we are troubled by senses. Think. So, therefore, everything is first of all, Shabdadi Rupam Bhuvanam Samastam. All the entire universe is nothing but Shabdadi Rupam. And Shabdadi Satta Indriya Vritti Bhasya. Now, this entire the world is Shabdadi Rupam, but illumined by what? Sense organs. So, therefore, the entire world, which is made up of the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha, is experienced by Indriyas, because the form is illumined by eye, sound in the creation is illumined by the ear, the taste is illumined by the tongue, smell is illumined by the nose, and the touch is illumined by the skin. So through Indriyas only the world is there. So all the world is, first point, all the world is Shabdadi Rupam. Second is, that is learned, that is seen or experienced by the Indriyas. Satta Indriyanam Manaso Vashaha. And where is the existence, or the Indriyas are totally under the control of the mind. Because the mind, unless if it is there behind the Indriya, then alone the Indriyas can function, then alone Indriya can give us the perception of the respective sense object. Smelling, tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, etc. is possible only when the mind is behind. So all these things are controlled by the mind, because mind also is, that is why it's called common sense, which is common, it's a junction box. So mind has to codify, mind has to receive, and all the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin bring seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, etc., hearing, etc. All the 5 sense organs, their experiences are dropped into the mind. So it is the mind which is seeing, it is the mind which is hearing, which is the mind which is doing everything. So manaso vashyaha. Then manomayam tadbhuvanam vadamaha. Therefore, whole the universe is nothing but manomayam. It is all existing only in the thought. Other than thought, that there is nothing called universe. It can't exist. It is existing only in us in the form of a thought. Now very interesting. Is that Bhuvanam, the world, experienced in the same way by everybody? No. Therefore, the thought of the world which your mind is holding is different from the thought of the world which my mind is holding. There is variations are there. The way I look, the way I think, the way I understand, the way I calculate, the way I respond, the way I give value to the world is all given in the mind. Therefore, every individual in his or her mind, the world is seen, world is existing in the form of a thought in every individual, but the quality of the thought, the nature of the thought is totally different from person to person. Therefore, you are the number one. I never exist. I never exist in your world. You never existed in my world. So I am living in my own world. There are some interactions, interface is possible, but the interface also is not a fully matching. I also see a pahad, you also see a pahad. To that extent, we are seeing the mountain. So that interface is there. But how you feel after seeing the mountain, how I feel after seeing the mountain, they are totally different. Think. Which aspect of mountain you are appreciating, which aspect of mountain I am appreciating, totally different. Therefore, we are actually not living in anybody's world. So, whole life from birth to death, it is only my world in the form of a thought is existing in me. Okay. So, what is the problem now? Everything is manomayam. The understanding is tad bhuvanam manomayam vadamaha. So, hridayat manah na anyat bhavati. Therefore, there is nothing called mind existing other than the hridayam. Hridayam only is mind. Why? Because the mind is in the form of thoughts is actually supported by the hridayam. The nature of the mind is depending upon the vasanas of the vasanas in the heart. Therefore, hridayat manaha na anyat bhavati. There is nothing called mind other than hridayam. Where is your mind? Other than your heart. Hridayam, core. And hridayadeva manasa utpattehe. Why? Manasa utpattehe. Hridayam only mind is emerging. Because hridaya kanti, hridaya light, we saw, it shows in the cranium, in the crown. So, the entire mind is born from the heart. Therefore, mind also is rooted in the heart only. And therefore, what is the conclusion? Tasmad hetoho, because of this reason, hridaye atmaswarupa sthane ashesha katha parisamapyate. All the story ends where atmaswarupa sthane. What is hridayam? Atmaswarupa sthanam. So, that heart which is the place of the self, there the mind also dissolved. Therefore what? Everything is rooted in the heart, and there ends the story. That's it. So conclusion is what? Everything is rooted in our own heart. So sarvasam vacham upasamharam ityarthaha. So now all kinds of statements, all kinds of analysis, all kinds of arguments, all kinds of everything ends. Where? In the heart. Full stop. So macrocosm existing because of the perception by the microcosm. Microcosm is nothing but the mind. Mind is nothing but the thought. Thought is born from ahamvritti. Ahamvritti is born from hridayam. Therefore, ultimately, everything is existing only in the heart. Ataha manasaha Hridaya adhinatvam drishtantena udaharati. Now, through an example, it is shown here that mind is Hridaya adhinatvam. Mind is completely under the control or influence or control of the heart. Mind is not independent from the heart. Heart is the source, the self. So in the heart only all kinds of vasanas are clouding. Avidya is in the heart. Hrudi avidya. Avidya is vasanas. All of the clouds are there only in the mind, in the heart, covered. Now, an example I'll give you. Suppose a cinema projector is there, big screen, 70 screen. A good example will come now in the text itself. 70 screen. In that 70 screen, what is projected? Whatever is projected from where? From the projector. Right? Projector is there. So what is projector? A light. Now, in between the light emerging from the projector and the screen on which the light is projected, what is in between? A film, a frame. Frame means something is there. So, what is there in between? That light is illumining the frame in front of it and projecting it on the screen. Okay. So what? That means what? If the frame, the film, one film, you put something inside, projecting, stationed film, like in olden days, in movies they would show that only stationed the poster dikha dete, slide only, but one slide, single slide. It's not like slide because slide moves, sliding. They are called frame. One frame is shown, tuck. Poster just banta hai wahan pe. Now, if that is there, the light which is on the screen is not pure. So if you see the screen is the mind and the projector from the where it is light is thrown is a heart. From that heart light is projected on the cranium, into the cranium. But what is projected in the brain? In the Sahasrara Chakra, whatever is between the light and the screen here on the head. What is there? Our vasanas, our clouds of avidya. Because they are there, the light is not pure. So it is projected. So therefore our mind, all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of desires, all kinds of opinions, all kinds of judgments, all kinds of calculations, all kinds of disturbances, they are all there in the mind, which is sthanam is head. Why? Because without light, the mind cannot exist. Light is required. But when light is pure, light is not being shown. It's something in between coming. Now, similar example is given so beautifully here. So, where is the avidya? In the heart. Avasanas in the heart. Hrudayam, they are covering it. So, ultimately, because from that only mind is born, from that alone the thought, I thought, mind, various other thoughts, idam vritti, then the perception of the universe, all that is possible. When you go back, it's like an antenna, You push up into everything, it just goes small. Pull one by one, it comes out. So roll back macrocosm into microcosm in the form of mind. Mind is nothing but aham vritti, emerging from aham vritti, other vrittis. Aham vritti is emerging from heart. And the kind of ahamvritti and the thoughts are depending upon the samskaras or vasanas in the heart, but everything is established in the heart. Now, this is a beautiful example is given, very beautiful example. What is that now? Ataha manasaha urdaya adhinatvam. Therefore, the mind is totally under the control of Hridayam, is told. Beautiful example. What is the example? Kirtyate Hridayam pinde yathande bhanumandalam manassahasraragatam bimbam Chandramasam Manassamsaragatam Manassahasraragatam Bimbam Chandramasam Yatha Kirtyate Hrudayam Pinde Yathande Bhanumandalam Manassahasraragatam Bimbam Chandramasam Yatha. Beautiful thing. It is, what do you call Kirtyate, it is called. It is said. It is declared. It is said. What is that now? Yatha, beautiful example. Now see that. Listen very carefully this example. More clarity you will get. What is the example? Yatha Yena prakarena ande brahmande bhanumandalam suryamandalam bhasate. Now, in the entire universe, okay, suryamandalam bhasate, sun is shining. Just as in Brahmanda, in the universe, the sun is shining. Tatha pinde pindande hrudayam kirtyate. In the Brahmanda macrocosm, sun is shining. Full concentration. In the Pindanda, similarly in the microcosm, what is shining? Heart. So in the macrocosm, Brahmanda, Surya is shining. In the Pindanda, macrocosm, heart is shining. Hridayam is shining. So Brahmanda, Pindanda. Surya Bhagavan, heart. Both are shining. Okay. Yatha Brahmande Chandramasam bimbam Chandramandalam chakasti. Now, in that outside Brahmanda, as the moon, the disk of the moon is shining. Disk of the moon is shining. Okay. As the disk of the moon is shining, chakasti, tata sahasraragatam manaha vilasati iti sheshaha. Similarly, in the Sahasrara Chakra, outside Surya and the Chandrama, Chandrabimbam, Bimba, Chandrabimbam, disk of the moon is shining. Not independently, because the light reflecting from the sun. Similarly, the mind in the Sahasrara Chakra, Sahasrara Chakre, Sahasraragatam Manaha Vilasati is shining. Where mind is in the Sahasrara Chakra. It is shining. Now see. Yatha Surya Mandalat Nirgataha Rashmayaha Chandre Sankrantaha Chandrikatmataya Prakashante. Just as the rays emerging from the sun fall upon the moon, and that moon reflects the rays, and we call them as moon rays, no more as sun rays. Actually, in the night also, they are sun rays only. Then why do we call moon rays? You have to answer. I don't know. But we call. Because we see the light is coming from the moon. We forget. We have knowledge. For knowledge may be there, information is there. But we forget. When you see the moon, we don't remember the sun. Yes or no? We get lost in the beauty of the moon. क्या खूबसूरत है, बढ़िया है, ये है, वो है. Beautiful moonlight. Let us have dinner. Moonlit dinner. We forget the sun. Here he says, Yatha Surya Mandalat Nirgataha Rashmayah Chandre Sankrantaha, reflecting on that. Chandratmakataya Prakashante. Then they become as though moon rays. They shine, they emerge out. Tatha Hurdayat Udgamya Sahasraram Praptasya Jyotishaha Rasmashayaha Manovrutyatmakataya Prakashante. Similarly, the light emerging from the heart goes up and reaching Sahasrara, and there, because of this entire mind, and there after reaching Sahasrara, it is expressing as the mind. It is shining as the mind, not as Hurdayam. Filled with samskaras. Kachra. Samskara means nothing but kuda. We have been carrying kuda. All of us. We are experts in carrying the dustbin from life after life. We don't leave the dustbin. Bhagavan Krishna said same thing, no? Vayurgandha nivashayat. This kuda, gandha, badbu come with us. That we don't leave. We leave the body. We don't leave actually. We are told to exit. We are kicked out of the body by force. We drop the body. Drop means we are kicked out of the house, rented a house, kicked out. And when we are kicked out, your inner saman also is thrown out with you. Go, take them. What is inner luggage? Vasanas. So with vasanas we emerge out. So life after life, what have we been carrying? Kuda. What is the kuda called? Mind. Manovrittayaha. So this Hridayam, the light emerging from the heart, goes to Sahasrara Chakra. They are the mind. And they shine as mind. Covered by, clothed by this light, clothed by samskaras. So the light, the purity of the light is lost. In the previous chapter we studied, earlier shlokas mein, that where from thought, anywhere it comes and falls in the Sahasrara Chakra of a Jnani, it just can't exist. It is like a high acid. Whatever you put, it melts. There is nothing. The shining is so much. Therefore, very beautiful thing says. Now, Yatha Surya Mandala Nirgata Rasmay. Okay. Tatha Hrudayad Udgamya Sahasraram Praptasya Jyotishaha Rasmayo Manovrutyatmakataya Prakashante Yathacha Chandra Prakashasya Surya Prakasha Eva Moolam. Just as the source of the light for the moon is the sun, Tatha Manovrutyatmaka Bodhasya Hrudaya Bodhayeva Moolaswarupamiti Bhavaha. Similarly, the light which is there in every thought is shining. It is not original light. It is reflected, it is supplied from the heart alone. Chandrasya swataha aprakashasya chandrasya swayam prakasha surya adhinatvameva swataha aprakashasya. Moon in itself is not shining. Depending for its shining, it is depending on the sun. Just as the moon in itself, which doesn't shine, is depending on the sun for the shining. Swataha इव स्वतः अबोधस्य मनोवृत्त्यात्मक बोधस्य हृदय बोध अधीनत्वं प्रतिपादितम्. Therefore, the light which is there, actually mind is jadam, but it is the thoughts. The thoughts are all, mind is dancing, working, as though it is seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. All the chetana activities of the mind is because of the light which is thrown from the heart. In the Swayam Jyoti Prakaranam, the discussions happen. I am not going to talk on that now. Discussions takes place. In this physics, in the waking plane, when we see the objects, we need a light. That light is from the external source, the sun. The sun is there, I can see objects. Sun is not there, I cannot see. But what is the light in which the dream objects and dream world is seen? Who is supplying the light? So the answer is Swayam Jyoti. It's not like one hour, a big discussion takes place. So it's in the light of Atma Jyoti alone I can see the dream. Because the principle is same. To see anything, I need light. But in dream, which light, under which light I am seeing the dream? My Swarupa only. In Vrihadaranyaka Upanishad also, Brahma Sutras also. So therefore, ultimately, the light or the Chetanatvam in the mind is illumined or because of the light emerging from the heart. The shining nature of the mind. Shining means it is alive. Mind able to think, walk, etc. Because of the light emerging from the heart. Just as the moon's rays are not independent, dependent on the sun, similarly the mind functions are depending on the heart. Okay? Uktam eva artham vispashtayati. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, again same thought he clarified. He discussed in the form of example Ramana Maharshi one day night, Hridaya Vidya. He told. So that all noted down by Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni. And that Muni had written all that in a form of beautiful Sanskrit slokas. So Bhagavan said, having said this, he must have given another example. He had given another example, not a must have. So Bhagavan, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni says, okay, Bhagavan gave, he clarified again through another example. And the Moolam, if you read, you can't understand anything. There only just no commentary. So with no commentary on Ramana Gita is impossible to understand. Very difficult. And that too, the commentaries were made and then Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi saw it and he heard being read by, when it was read by that author, Sri Kapala Shastriyar, then Ramana Maharshi blessed, accepted the commentary, one correction he made, that's it. And then it was published when Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi himself was there. So it has been authenticated commentary. Okay? Authenticated by none other than Bhagavan himself. So he gives another example. What is that now? Yatha dadati tapana Teja kairava bandhave Idam vitarate jyotihi Hridayam manase tatha Yatha dadati tapanaha Teja kairava bandhave Idam vitarate jyotihi. This thought I already told you. Yatha tapanaha suryaha kairava bandhave chandraya tejaha dadati. Just as sun gives light to the moon. Then the moon started glowing. Similarly, tatha idam hrudayam manase jyoti vitarati. In the mind, the heart is, what do you call, pumping its light into the mind. The light is gushing out from the heart and entering into the mind, scintillating, illumining, making the every thought a bright thought glowing. ये समझ में, ऐसा बोलने में कुछ समय है क्या आपको? सुनिए आप, ये तो वाक्य सही है, मगर ऐसा कुछ बोलने से यही से वेदांत पढ़ रहे हैं. हृदय मन को प्रकाशित करता है. बहुत बढ़िया. कुछ समझ है? कुछ भी समझ है. देखिएगा, इसीलिए आपको सेंटेंस करेक्ट हिंदी में लिखने के लिए तो समझ जो है, फ्रॉम हृदयम द लाइट इज pumped into the mind, where it is in the Sahasrara Chakra. So, Sahasrara Chakra, what is happening? Imagine all the thoughts are there in the mind, dead, in the seed form. They are not active. All thoughts are lying down. The moment the light from the heart, suppose it's entering into the mind, every thought becomes alive. Just as whole machinery in a factory is not functioning. All the machines, huge machines, are all off, not functioning because of lack of electricity. No electricity supply. So all are lying dead. There is no movement in any machine. Machines move, no? Machines move. Moment the activity is still in the machine. Whatever is the machine guna, quality, they are working. Huge machines, printing machines you take, or industrial machines you take, the way they work, the way, huge machines. All are running on power. And the power source is only one. It is not that different types of electricity or power we have. Lucky, one power we can generate and run everything on it. Similarly, all kinds of varieties of thoughts are suddenly becoming alive. Like a machinery starts functioning, the moment the Hridayam light goes on and it awakens all. A prakashit karna mane, it's not like that simple a light throwing. It is creating some kind of an activity. Every thought is becoming alive.
Gives energy.
So, therefore, tapanah tejah kairava bandhave, that is Chandraya, idam vitarati jyoti hridayam manasoyata. So, atha ajna spashtam anyad vyakhyatam. No, rest all things commented upon very clearly discussed and commented upon. There is nothing to discuss on this topic. Meaning on this again. Now, atha ajnaninaha manovrittim dvabhyam vyaharati. Now, how this ignorant man's the mind functions? This is a scenario. Scenario is sun, the moon further illuminating, or Hridayam, heart, mind in the Sahasrara Chakra, cranium, and everything is thought is becoming alive. And mano vyapara, mind transactions are happening. Okay, this example is clearly understood. What about in the Ajnani case? How Ajnani is in the case, what is happening? How his mind, his functions? Hridyasan nihito martyo Mana kevalamekshate Asannikarshe suryasya रात्रौ चन्द्रे यथा महः हृद्यसन्निहितो मर्त्यो मनः केवलमीक्षते असन्निकर्षे सूर्यस्य रात्रौ चन्द्रे रात्रौ in the night nishi सूर्यस्य असन्निकर्षे असन्निध्ये अदर्शनं गते सूर्यः इत्यर्थः. Now in the night Surya is not visible. Suryasya asannikarshe asannidhye. Surya is not available in the night. Only mind is there. Sorry, moon is there. So, but asannidhye adarshanam gate surye ityartha. In that sun, Chandre mahah jyotirmartyo yatha pashyati. Chandre mahah jyotihi martyah yatha pashyati. Martya means a mortal, a human being, a mortal. In the absence of sun, in the night, that is in the absence of sun, a mortal sees only the moonlight. Of course, moonlight is seen. In Amavasya, that also is not seen, doesn't matter. But moonlight is seen. Natu manomolam hrudayam ityartha. Similarly, tatha hrudaye asannihito astito manujaha kevalam manaha manomatram ikshate natu manomolam hrudayam ityartha. Therefore, similarly, hrudi in the heart, hrudaye asannihitaha astitaha manujaha. Because for mortal man who is not awakened to the existence of the heart, he sees only the mind. He is not seeing the heart. So for him, for Ajnani, Hrudayam is far away. He is not seeing it. So asannidhye astitaha manujaha kevalam manomatram ikshate. Just as in the night we see only the moon, not the sun. In Ajnani Avastha, for a mortal, he sees only the mind and not the Hrudayam. He doesn't see Hrudayam at all. It is covered with junk, and that through that junk the light is projected. In the mind we see the Sahasrara Chakra is a noticing point of the mind, recognized, read. And there all kinds of thoughts are there. I don't see the heart. Na manomulam. Manomulam, the source of the mind. The heart is not visible. For whom? Ajnani. Just as in the night, night means it is called Ajnani Avastha. Ajnana Avastha. Night means Ajnana Avastha. Yatha ratro adrushte surye kevalam chandramaha eva drushyate. Just as the night, when the sun is not visible, only moonlight is seen. Tatha ajnana dashayam. When during ajnana dasha, during state of ignorance, ajnana dashayam avidite hrudaye manomatram drushyate. Hrudaye avidite, when the hrudayam is not known in ajnana dasha, heart is not known, the source is not known, self is not known. So, manomatram drushyate. So, we see only the mind, not the heart. Why? We are all in ajnana dasha. Therefore, hrudayam we don't know. Evamcha yatha adrushte ratrau surye drushyamanam chandramaha suryena eva diyate. Even though in the night, although in the night, adrushtayapi ratrau suryaha, suryo adrushtayapi, in the night, even though the sun is not seen, drushyamanam chandramaha suryeneva diyate. Even though you are not able to see the sun in the night, the visible moon is illumining everything. The light emerging from the moon is actually supplied by the sun. So the very fact that the mind is functioning, the moon is illumining, means It is sun, I am not seeing it. But mind is illuminating. Mind is glowing. Her moon is glowing. When moon is glowing, meaning it is to be understood that the sun is there behind the moon. Sun is supplying the energy. Suryena, who gave the light to the moon? Suryena eva. Surya Bhagavan only gave the light to the moon. Tatha avidya dashayam abiditeyapi hrudaye bhasamanam manasam jnanam hrudayena eva arpyata iti gamyate. Similarly, even though the heart is not recognized or seen or noticed or experienced or realized in the state of ignorance, when like all of us, in our state of ignorance, when we are not seen the heart, even though we are not experiencing, but the bhasamanam, the hrudaye bhasamanam, manasam jnanam hrudayena eva. So the jnanam, the knowledge in the mind which is shining, is actually given by the hrudayam. The light in the mind is actually supplied by hrudayam. I don't know. I am in ajnana dasha, darkness. But even then it is supplied. You may not know, but the heart alone is the cause. Heart alone is supplying the light to the mind. Now see. Avidita swarupah pamaraha prathak bhavan pashyati iti aha. So pamaraha, aviditaha, swarupah pamaraha. The ignorant who is not realized that his own existence is not known, is not yet known the truth. Prathak bhavan pashyati. Because he has not experienced the heart, pamaraha, ajnani, what is he seeing? He is only seeing diversity. He is only seeing the differences. Why? We have seen everything is rolled back into heart. We saw or not? Bhul gaya aap. Everything emerged from the heart only. So there is no Dvaitam actually. But if you don't know the heart, you are in Dvaita. If you know the heart, you are in Advaita. There ends the matter. So Advaita is only in awakening or realizing one's own self or the heart. I am Hrit. This itself is Hridaya means self only. So if I know Hridayam, because everything is converged, dissolved into that, resolved into Hridayam, so I can only experience Advaita only after awakening to my own existence, self. Otherwise, mind is active. Mind is active. Mind is active means pamaraha, ajnani, ignorant person is only experiencing the duality, differences. That's what he said. Apashyan tejaso moolam swarupam satyamatmanaha manasa cha pruthak pashyan bhavan bhramayati pamaraha apashyan tejaso moolam swarupam satyamatmanaha manasa cha pruthak bhavan bhramyati. Therefore, tejasaha jnanasya moolam atmanaha satyam swarupam apashyan ajanan. Pamaraha, ignorant man, not knowing apashyan tejasaha, that is jnanasya moolam. Tejasaha moolam means jnanasya moolam. What is jnana moolam? Satyam. That is what? One's own swarupam, apashyan, not knowing, ajanan, pamaraha, ignorant man, manasa, that is karanena, antakaranena, pruthak bhavarthan pashyan, because he doesn't know the heart, swarupam, he is only experiencing the mind And mind is, nature is only division, 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 division. And it is exposed to duality. Therefore, this person also gruhnan, pashyan, gruhnan, bhramyati, bheda bhaveshu bhranto bhavati. Because of the mind is there, mind is always bhed bhaveshu, he is just lost, caught up in delusion of bheda bhava. Nanatvam. Where Nanatvam ends, the reality is recognized. Nanatvam means multiplicity, duality. Usme फंस गया. कौन? पामरहा. Why? Because he don't know the source of everything, the heart. Heart is Advaita. There is no duality. Evam ajnasya gatim uktva vijnasya sthitim aha. Now, having thus told the state of an ignorant man, now how will be the state of a realized man? This is beautiful example which we will see tomorrow. थक गए होंगे आपने इतना बहुत सुन के. 1 घंटे 50 मिनट से ज़्यादा आपको मुश्किल लगता है. काफ़ी है. Good example is given now. What will be the state of a wise man? How does this example is given? Chandra, Surya and all. So now example for a great awakened man is given. That we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnavadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Arihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Arihi Om Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.